For a summer day, it sure is a busy one for the news flow. Let's get some analysis. For that, we're joined by the A-Team, author, radio talk show host, and Fox News contributor Monica Crowley. Former White House senior advisor to Bill Clinton, Richard Socarides, and radio talk show host Curtis Sliwa. Guys, obviously, let's start with the immigration bill that passed the Senate today. But as the House Speaker said, it's dead on arrival in the House of Representatives. Monica, to you first. How do you see the path to immigration, if at all, unfolding from here?
Well, I think whatever has emerged from the Senate is going to meet a very uncertain future in the House. And as you mentioned, the Speaker said this is DOA in the House. House is also working on a separate bill. So what you may see is the House passing some version of this. How similar it is to the Senate version, I have no idea. But passing out some sort of version of an immigration reform bill and then having it go to conference. And our fear is that in conference, it will end up looking a lot like the Senate bill. But remember, in 2006, when they tried to go down this road, the Democratic Senate passed an immigration bill not unlike this one, 63. I believe the vote was 63. So very close, very similar to this, only to die a gruesome death in the House of Representatives and not go anywhere. So the recent history is sort of on the side of this dying a death. But I think the political incentives on both sides, and I think they're warped incentives, but I think the incentives are on both sides are to get something done.
Let me get Richard to weigh in here, because David Vitter, Senator Vitter at the top of the show, who voted against it, he's a Republican, saying it's amnesty now and maybe border enforcement later. Do you agree with him?
Well, there were a lot of Republican votes in the U.S.
Not
Senate.
70 like the Gang of Eight was looking for.
Well, they got 68. Okay, so they fell too short. But there were a lot of Republican votes. I mean, the mainstream senators in the Republican Party voted for this immigration bill in the Senate. So I think, if the Republicans want an immigration bill, if they think it will help them with moderates and independents, we should be able to construct an immigration bill coming out of the House and the Senate that works for the American people. I mean, this is far from a radical proposal. I mean, 13 years to become a U.S. citizen. I mean, it is not a radical bill. But if the Republicans if the Republicans in the House and the Tea Party caucus in the House want to stand in the way of immigration reform, they certainly can do it, but they will pay a heavy price, I think, at the ballot box in the midterms. And if they ever try to elect a Republican president again, they're going to be in deep trouble.
Senator Rubio raising some eyebrows, garnering some concern. Critics saying that he might have flipped on the issue by being a little bit more moderate. And Congressman Paul Ryan as well, trying to position himself right as a bridge builder on all of this. What do you think?
Well,
do you think it's fracturing the Republican Party?
Hillary Rodham Clinton has already got her mariachi bands behind her. She's making the pre-presidential tour, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. This could be the first Democratic candidate that actually wins Texas since LBJ.
All right, you want to talk about Hillary Clinton. She's got a George Soros backing her, investor backing her with this super PAC. So, I mean, that says a lot. Is it just all Hillary, do you think, in 2016?
Well, Rich is dead, right? So they can't use any of Rich's money. So let's go to another billionaire who stole billions. So we'll go to Soros. I mean, this is what the Clintons are all about. The worst economic monsters in existence. We'll back the Clintons and we'll give absolution to them because it's Bill, because it's Hillary. And yet, look, where is the source of this money? Which currency did Soros steal from in order to be able to back Hillary Rodham Clinton and earn her way into the White House, huh? Is it pounds, sterling pounds? Is it francs?
Well, I don't think any reasonable person really thinks that George Soros is a criminal or anything other than a very successful businessman. I mean, he has very progressive views, and he puts his money behind promoting his views. But certainly he is an outstanding member of the business community who, like any American or any individual in this country, is entitled to use his money to support the political beliefs he believes in. I mean,
and
people do this. People do this on the right too.
Well, listen.
I mean, the accusations you've made today against Mr. Soros,
time and time again, he destroys currencies. He went at the UK. They're our allies, right? Why did he try to take down the
last
sterling
time I
pound?
checked, the sterling pound was not destroyed. The British currency was not destroyed.
Oh no, because
Guys,
they had
we have to talk
belly
about
up.
Barney Frank backing the legalization of heroin, though saying he has never been tempted to try it. Barney Frank also, we were kind of shocked. Not shocked, but we said, oh, no surprise he's trying to legalize gambling. But that kind of made sense because of the revenues it could generate. But heroin, I mean, even marijuana, you understand both sides of that argument.
Well, but you have
heroin?
I mean, listen, I think that you have to look at what he said in the context of the fact.
Yeah,
first of all, he did it in the context. He's written a book which has some of his policy ideas in it, and I think that this is, he's a progressive thinker. There is a debate in this country about whether or not we ought to put money behind drug treatment as opposed to drug prevention and drug enforcement.
The conversation
and this is a very provocative idea.
It's very limited when you talk about legalization in terms of the states, some states legalizing marijuana, but heroin is a bridge too far. He did form an alliance with Ron Paul, though.
Our show's going to end. This has been great. Monica, Richard, and Curtis, you guys are great tonight. Okay, that does it for Lou Dobbs tonight. Be sure to check out Markets Now, hosted by myself and Adam Shapiro every day at 1 p.m. Have a very good night, everybody.